Was it a simple misunderstanding, or was something far deeper brewing beneath the surface? Fans have been buzzing with theories, trying to piece together what really happened that night. When Jungkook finally broke his silence and revealed the truth about why Taehyung was left in tears, the revelation shocked the entire BTS fandom. But what does this have to do with Jimin? And why was he left alone at camp? The answers are far more emotional than anyone could have anticipated. For weeks, armies have been speculating about a particular moment that caught everyone's attention, an emotional breakdown from Taehyung that seemed to come out of nowhere. But according to Jungkook, it wasn't random at all. In fact, once he revealed what had actually happened, it became clear why Taehyung couldn't hold back his emotions. The silent struggles behind the spotlight, behind the glamour of global fame, BTS members have always stood by each other like brothers. From their trainee days to their historic rise, their bond has been unbreakable. But even the closest of friendships are not immune to moments of deep pain. And this was one of those moments. The incident unfolded during a private retreat, a much-needed break from their packed schedules. BTS had taken a short trip together, something they had always cherished as a way to reconnect with each other outside of the industry. But what was supposed to be a peaceful getaway turned into an unexpectedly emotional moment. Clues that something was wrong. During a live stream, Taehyung appeared visibly upset. His eyes were red, his usual playful energy subdued. Armies noticed that he seemed distant, and although he tried to hide it with a smile, there was no mistaking the sadness in his voice. When a fan asked him if he was okay, he simply replied, I just miss people sometimes. But there was more to it than that. Some fans speculated that it had something to do with Jimin, who had been notably quiet in the days leading up to the trip. Jimin's absence in certain group moments raised even more questions. While all the members seemed to be enjoying their time together, Jimin was often missing from the fun. Some clips showed him sitting alone by the campfire, lost in thought. Others captured him staring at his phone, deep in contemplation. The truth finally comes out. It wasn't until Jungkook decided to address the situation that the heartbreaking truth was finally revealed. He confessed that Taehyung had broken down after learning something about Jimin that none of them had realized earlier. During the retreat, Jimin had quietly distanced himself from the group, not wanting to disrupt the atmosphere with his personal emotions. But what the other members hadn't noticed at first was that Jimin had been struggling with loneliness in a way they had never seen before. Jimin's hidden pain. According to Jungkook, Jimin had been feeling isolated for quite some time, but he never wanted to be a burden to his brothers. He had kept his emotions bottled up, not wanting to bring down the group's energy. But when Taehyung found out that Jimin had spent the night at the camp alone, feeling left out and overwhelmed, it shattered him. Jungkook described how Taehyung had gone to check on Jimin late at night, only to find him sitting by himself in complete silence, staring at the ground. The sight of his friend, who had always been a source of warmth and comfort for others, now looking so small and alone, was too much for Taehyung to bear. He didn't even say anything, Jungkook recalled. He just sat there like he was waiting for something, or someone to notice. And when Taehyung saw that, he just lost it. Taehyung's tears and Jimin's response. Taehyung, known for his deep sensitivity and strong connection with Jimin, couldn't contain his emotions. He broke down in front of Jungkook, overwhelmed with guilt for not realizing what Jimin was going through sooner. I should have known, Taehyung reportedly said. I should have been there for him. Jimin, on the other hand, was surprised by Taehyung's reaction. He hadn't expected anyone to notice, let alone feel so deeply about his situation. He reassured Taehyung that he was fine, that he just needed time alone. But the truth was he had been feeling lost, and it had taken his best friend breaking down in tears for him to fully acknowledge it. The emotional reunion. After Taehyung's emotional moment, the rest of the members quickly came together to make sure Jimin knew he wasn't alone. Jungkook shared how they spent the rest of the night talking, laughing, and making sure Jimin felt included. Jimin, always the one to take care of others, finally let himself be cared for. It was a reminder to all of them that even the strongest among them needed support sometimes. The aftermath and what it means for BTS. This moment, though painful, only strengthened their bond. Fans who had been worried about tension in the group were reassured that their friendship remained as strong as ever. More importantly, it was a reminder that even in a family as close as BTS, Open communication and emotional support are crucial. Jungkook's revelation left fans emotional, with many expressing their love and support for both Taehyung and Jimin. "They really are a family," one fan tweeted. "No matter what, they always find their way back to each other. A lesson in love and friendship." In the end, what could have been a moment of division turned into a powerful reminder of love and friendship. Jimin may have felt alone that night, but he was never truly alone. His brothers were there, ready to stand by him, even when he didn't ask for it. And as for Taehyung, his tears weren't a sign of weakness, but of the deep love he has for his best friend. Through this, they reminded all of us that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is let someone know that you see them, that you care, and that no matter what, they are never truly alone. The ripple effect on ARMY and the BTS community. As news of Jungkook's revelation spread, armies around the world were deeply moved. Social media exploded with messages of love, support, and even concern for Jimin, Taehyung, and the entire group. Hashtags like #WeLoveYouJimin, #TaehyungCares, and #BTSForever started trending globally, showing just how much this moment resonated with fans. But why did this particular incident strike such a deep chord with so many people? Perhaps because in Jimin's quiet loneliness and Taehyung's emotional response, fans saw reflections of their own struggles. Everyone at some point in life has felt unseen, unheard, or like they don't belong. And just like Jimin, many choose to suffer in silence, not wanting to burden those around them. The beauty of this moment, however, was the way it was handled, with genuine love, open emotions, and unwavering support. It was a reminder that true friendship isn't just about sharing happy moments. It's about being there for each other when things get difficult. Even when words aren't spoken, Jimin speaks out his side of the story. A few days after Jungkook's revelation, Jimin himself addressed the situation. During a Weverse live session, he smiled softly at the camera, as if debating whether or not to speak about it. After a brief pause, he finally opened up. "I didn't think anyone noticed," he admitted, his voice tinged with both gratitude and a hint of sadness. "It wasn't that I was upset with anyone. I needed a moment. But Taehyung, he always notices, doesn't he?" His words sent a wave of emotion through armies, many of whom felt a deep connection to what he was expressing. Jimin went on to explain that sometimes, even in the presence of loved ones, a person can feel alone. It wasn't about being ignored or abandoned. Rather, it was about his own inner struggles, something he hadn't fully understood himself until Taehyung's emotional reaction forced him to acknowledge it. "But I realized something," Jimin continued, his eyes soft. "I'm not alone. I never was. And I'm really lucky to have people who remind me of that." The strength of BTS's brotherhood. What makes BTS stand out isn't just their music, their performances, or their record-breaking achievements. It's their unwavering bond, their ability to lift each other up, and the way they remind the world that love, whether between friends, family, or even strangers, is what truly matters. This incident was a perfect example of why BTS isn't just a group of musicians, they're a family. And their love for one another is what has kept them strong despite the pressures of fame, the grueling schedules, and the weight of being global icons. Taehyung's tears weren't just about Jimin being alone that night at camp. They were about years of shared memories, of knowing Jimin's struggles, of feeling his pain as if it were his own. And Jimin's realization wasn't just about that one night. It was about understanding, perhaps more deeply than ever, just how much he is loved.